Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
The cross goes, he's done it again. Taylor squares it for Victor Ulloa. It's one up. Ulloa and Taylor. Job done for Inter Miami. Let it in by Moses. What? 6. It's 2 for Miami. Damian Lowell doubles the lead. Some games you can just sense something wicked. This way it comes.
Season 3 is in the books, buddy. Season 3 of Inter Miami. Unfortunately, a little earlier than we were hoping for. And season 3 of the podcast. How do you feel? What's your emotional scale like right now?
If you would have asked me when we were together, a week and a half ago, I would have been really disappointed. We had the false start, jumping up and down, celebrating like hooligans, and we thought Gonzalo scored that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, trust me, I still think about that here every so often. But you know what? I'm actually okay. I'm really okay. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season we'd be talking about playoffs and playing a hell of a game against the defending MLS champions, I would have laughed at you. But, we can, I'm going to kick myself because I know you're going to play this back to me at the beginning of next year when we have a streak of losing a few games. We can only really go up from here, I guess. We've proven that we can play with the big dogs we want to. We got some big shoes to fill here soon with Gonzalo departing, but I think we're trending in the right direction. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, that night, a little bitter to swallow, get the pod squad out there, a little watch party, Greenlock gang out there. Had the homies really like, bring the families, bring the chicas, and get everybody together just for that. Yeah, false start, all that hope. But I mean, it was still a good night, and I gotta stick to what I've been saying, and that's, if we make the playoffs this season, then it was a win. And we did. Really, highs and lows of the season. Is an exciting season. Really enjoyed this one. I think the most certainly out of any season. It was good. And I think we are trending in the right direction. About to be Gonzalo less, although I was holding on hope that he would refuse to go out like that and want to finish on a slightly higher note. But, hey, nothing but kudos and respect. I've always enjoyed having Gonzalo on the squad. I know he's received a lot of hate. I have not been necessarily that person, but good stuff's coming. Very eager to see what happens with the squad. We do have some squad updates that we can get into in a little bit here. But knocked out by NYCFC. Been a little bit of a delay recording because you actually were traveling. You were down here in Florida. So a little late to the party, but did want to do an official season 3 wrap. And we have the MLS Cup final coming up just around the corner on Saturday. If you have not been paying attention, LAFC defeated Austin in the Western Conference Finals, defeated them 3-0 with goals from Chicho Arango, Rudy, and Opoku to advance to the Cup. And then Philadelphia beat NYCFC, Julian Carranza to avenge the team that defeated Inter Miami. He scored first one on the board for Philly, and then Gazdag and Corey Burke. So that leaves us a final on Saturday, November 5th of LAFC versus the Philadelphia Union. Who do you have in that game, buddy?
See, I'm gonna say who I have, and then you're just gonna call me out for it. You know who I'm taking. I gotta take Philly. I know it's in LA's backyard. I just don't see them standing up to what Philly's bringing to the table. I mean, any team that can go down 1-0 and rattle off 3 goals, back to back to back, it I don't know.
That's what they
I'm gonna
do. That's what Philly does, bro. They bang goals.
No, absolutely. And if none of them were really okay, the Burke one was a little bit of a lucky bounce, but he had a beautiful finish. Gazdag and Carranza both had clinical finishes. I'm going to take Philly in a high scoring affair 4-2.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going with LAFC on this one. My gut tells me Philly, but just the fact that I think LAFC wants to avenge themselves from what was that, the 2019 MLS Cup where Carlos Vela broke the goal record and then they were like knocked out first round or something. They also did basically put all of their chips into the pile on this one, went all in on the MLS Cup with their acquisitions. So also being at home, I'm going to go with LAFC just so there's some difference between us, so one of us can feel like we're smarter than the other. But yeah, that's coming up. It should be a pretty exciting game too. Really looking forward to that.
But hold on, before you move on, we have some more MLS controversy because you can't have the MLS without some controversy.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't been paying attention, there will be no on-site parking for the MLS final because the mighty Trojans of USC play the mighty Golden Bears of Cal in a college football regular season game for the Pac-12. The city of LA has come out and said, just take a train, just take an Uber, just take whoever. Some smart individuals online were actually buying parking passes for the USC game to go to the final. So, big brain move right there.
Not a bad idea.
No. Someone cheekily said, well, why couldn't USC play at Dodger Stadium? I was like, hey, you know what? I love it. I love hearing that. So, yeah, I mean, I know I was a little on one this morning about it when, I initially woke the Discord up at 3 a.m. while I was at the gym. And I was like, hey, I think this is complete crap. But in hindsight, I mean, there was no way to tell that either LAFC the LAFC was going to do it. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to push a number 9 ranked team out. Plus, I guess the Rose Bowl's hosting an Oktoberfest in November because, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Not have it like the NFL where, the Super Bowl is a neutral territory, or switches every year, right? And it's not, home team advantage. Although that wasn't like the Bucks. Didn't the Bucks win? But it was in Tampa. Like that was the 1 year. Like they somehow
no. And the Rams won in their home stadium too.
Okay, but very rare, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. That's probably the way to go about it. And while we're on the subject of MLS news, yeah, it was real that there's I guess the league said it was there was credible information that Taxi Fountas racially abused Damian Lowe, and that Ame Mabika, heard it as well, and they said it was credible, and then they also said like, oh, it's credible that Fat Taxi can't deny it, so there's no punishment going to be issued. And I'm just like, what are you what are you guys doing here? It's I don't know, that was a little disappointing on behalf of the MLS. I think him leaving the country during this whole thing kind of speaks volumes.
Well, I'm really disappointed because obviously we were in attendance. So I took the time to explain I don't want to shield him from it, but I told Riley what was happening, what possibly was said. Now, obviously not using the words, but like something that should never be said towards another individual. And now he asked me the other day what was going on with it because, he is very in tune with the league and Inter Miami and what goes on, just as much as you and I are, as much as a 7-year-old can be. So now I have to sit there and tell him, hey, man, he got away with it. I don't want to lie to him. I'm not going to lie to him. Like, hey, sometimes bad people get away with bad things. It's just a really shitty thing for the league to let slide. I think you and I were talking about Cucho getting suspended for a is a homophobic slur, I do believe. And if I'm wrong, I do apologize. But, he gets nailed for that. But then something of equal or more tax he gets away from. I don't know. I mean, it probably helps that he's screwed off to Greece and has not been in contact with DC.
Yeah, kind of like
But-
self-punished himself, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
We want to stay away from the negativity of this episode. It's all
'cause I'll
about
get
just
fired up.
just having a happy ending before we get our yearly little break period. Although kind of had like a 2-week break here, but hey, whatever. Give us some time off. We're going to actually be doing some low-key World Cup coverage. We're going to be expanding the pod for that and a little trial to potentially expand the pod out in the future because I think we're going to need it. I'll have a new baby girl here in January. You already have your hands full, sir. So we're going to lean on the support of the pod squad, the day oneers who are incredibly active and have been kind of chomping at the bit to get on here and get a shot. So we're gonna let them. They deserve it. They have earned it. But in sense of keeping the good news, so the MLS and Inter kind of do their awards as well. Relevant for Inter, Gonzalo Higuain won the Comeback Player of the Year. Relevant for that was the MLS Comeback Player of the Year. The team also announced that Gonzalo Higuain was their MVP of the year. Other notables, Hani Mukhtar did win the Golden Boot, best player in the MLS. Really kind of pulled away from Sebastian Druisi in the last third of the season. Very, very well deserved. Thiago Almada was named the 2022 newcomer of the year. High praises from Leo Messi. Ooh, we'll get into that in a little bit too, buddy. And Jim Curtin for the Philadelphia Union, Coach of the Year. Hell, with I don't even know how many goals he had. Felt like 200. What? Go ahead.
200 against DC United by themselves.
Yeah.
The only head scratcher to me, and maybe you and I can argue on this, the best 11 for 2022, Walker Zimmerman was named one of the best defenders. He was actually in the starting lineup for that. I don't recall, and I don't watch Nashville, but I don't recall seeing him having a stellar season. I mean, I agree with Glesnes and Wagner in the back, but Zimmerman, I mean, is he getting a little bit of love because he's a U.S. national team
Could
player?
be that. Could be the consistency. He's been, one of the top defenders for 3-4 years now. Who would you replace? Your boy?
I don't know. No.
Callens?
I mean, I thought Callens had a really good year.
Callens did have a great year.
But I'm going to continue to say I don't watch Nashville.
Yeah.
But I did in the few weks I had him as
here's the good news. You will be watching Nashville next season when they're back in the East.
Cannot wait. Yeah, great. But no, I had Zimmerman on and I know I'm basing off fantasy, but I had him for about a 6-week stretch in fantasy, and he did not do jack diddly anything in that. So I watched highlights of him, and
you can't judge.
Hold on,
real world performances based on fantasy.
But you're not letting
especially
me finish.
not MLS fantasy.
You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. And then I went back and watched him actually play in a couple games, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I just don't see it. I mean, David Norman Jr. would be a better defensive choice than Walker Zimmerman. Hot take. Hot take.
That's just disrespectful. There's so much disrespect for the USMNT players for some reason. I don't understand why people hate Pulisic so much. Maybe he's has some really bad games, or he's not what he potentially could have been, but dude, come on, man. We've been so bad at this sport for so long. Take what we can get. Let's be happy. Let's be supportive.
Can't wait.
What I did miss, Joseph Martinez won the MLS Goal of the Year with that beautiful bicycle kick. Totally okay with that. I know Inter Miami fans wanted, they shared 16 goals, and I felt 3 or 4 of them were from Inter. So, that's fine. I have respect for Joseph. So good for him. Now we're going to have our fun. We're going to give our awards, buddy. And we only have 4. we're really not, we're not going overboard here, but team MVP. Who is your team MVP this year, Than?
I mean, it would be almost a crime if we gave it to anybody but Gonzalo.
I know.
I mean, without him, we are looking at a totally different team.
Yeah.
I think we can make that one quick, done, dusted, pretty short and sweet.
The part that kind of sucks about the delay that we've had just because of our lives is that we usually can get these out before the MLS or the teams announce theirs, and then so we're just like reaffirmed when the team also agrees with us. We feel smart because we're kind of idiots over here. Offensive player of the year.
It's Gonzalo. I mean, it's gotta be yeah, I mean, again, it's gotta be Gonzalo. He really just kicked it up a notch and drug us into the playoffs.
Yes, despite all the hate. Defensive player of the year.
Ooh. I'm going with Chris McVeigh.
I'm agreeing with you on Chris McVeigh.
Look at that. I mean,
done.
and I'm going to continue to say he is not appreciated enough by our fan base. He consistently gives everything he has. Yes, he makes mistakes. I understand
Most minutes.
that. The most minutes on the team.
Played about every position on that back line.
And honestly, he is one of the most likable dudes we have on the team. He is always there for the supporters, the kids, like whoever. He'll stop and sign 1 million autographs as he's leaving. Great dude overall. Respect and love who we have because we could be stuck with so much worse.
Fair enough. Newcomer of the year. And I don't have my soundboard, so I can't give the applause, right? I mean, the whole module is being repaired right now, so we're ad hoc. Sorry for the lack of applause sound effects here.
I think more people are upset about the lack of air horn. Got to be honest with that. I'd say Pozuelo. I mean, I know he was only with us for half a season. The switch flipped when he showed up. I got to go with Pozuelo on that.
That's valid, and I think a lot of people want to say Campana as well. I don't disagree with you on Pozuelo, but I think that for me, it was Robbie Taylor. I think low-key flew under the radar, had a lot of positive impact, and really excited to see him continue with us. But, in the same breath, I'm also very excited to see Campana continue with us. I'll go ahead and spoiler alert here. He has declined to return to to Wolverhampton. So that basically sounds like unless, something crazy happens, he's coming back. We don't know the structure yet. And I'm also equally excited for Pozuelo to return to us as well. I'm hoping on a TAM deal for the greater good of the entire team and organization. Would make us very, very strong. Of course, RIP. We'll miss you, Gonzalo. But yeah, those are the 2022 Inter Miami Podcast Awards. Didn't have time to research all the goals to give you a selection of best goals of the year. Any off top that you would say best goal of the year?
All right, so the one I didn't see live, I'm always talking about it, the McVeigh banger. That one is always going to stick with me.
That was pretty filth.
The one I saw live, Gonzalo's free kick against Red Bull. And that was actually one of the top 16 in the league this year. That was so sweetly struck. Yeah, I got to go with that. If I had to choose one more top 3, I got to go with that Robbie Taylor solo effort where he was dancing on a string across the box and pulled it back through and slotted it home. So,
yeah.
What would you say?
Oh, man. What would I say? I just had one in my head, and then honestly, I just kind of straight up forgot it. I'm going to go ahead and say the Campana. I can't remember who it was against. I want to say it was against Atlanta. I think it was against Atlanta United at home, where he kind of took that ball down with his leg, perfect touch, perfect turn, kind of over his shoulder, and then just drilled it across the face of goal. Very, very thin angle to score. I thought just everything about that screamed class, but there were some great goals. Gonzalo had 2 of the free kicks. The McVeigh banger was amazing. Robbie Taylor was involved in a few other goals with some really shifty footwork. Just really, really impressed with Robbie. Wasn't expecting the just the shiftiness and the comfort level and the things that man can do with his feet and a ball, like he could shake really anyone. It was great.
I'm genuinely surprised that you did not bring up your Mota 100-yard banger. Like, it seems like he hit it from like 7 miles out.
So I was gonna say like one, like because he deserved after 40 attempts to hit one. I mean the Moto one in the Orlando U.S. Open Cup game was pretty thrilling, even though it was short lived. But yeah, that's what we'll rock with now. Before we get into the last fun segment, the over unders that we recorded. This is actually like when we were starting to really have you kind of take over and be a full-time IMPC representative to the highest standards. But for some reason, there was an off week where you weren't on this episode. We're going to get to these over unders that we recorded. Well, Dan's going to hold me accountable for predictions I made at the very beginning of the season. This was right after we won our first ever hardware. I'm talking about the highly coveted Carolina Champions Classic, whatever that tournament was, preseason tournament. Yes. That's the one I'm talking about. That singular shining, probably brass trophy that's in our case. whatever that is.
Paper mache.
So I did isolate the audio. I did chop it up, edit it, make it as condensed as I can. We had some fun with it. We'll play that just in a little bit, then we'll get into the results. But let's go ahead and get into some of this league news. And then, of course, probably the biggest news circulating, the MLS. And I'm getting questions about it from people at work that don't even really follow the sport. We're getting reached out to on social media, all the good times. Probably like the 4th time this one's come up. Real team news. We did kind of, I don't know if lose is the right word. Maybe send them off for development opportunities, or maybe just cut ties and look for better improvements. We do have, I'll let you do it, buddy, Zaragoza.
Yeah, so Robbie Robinson is getting a new lease on life, going out to play out in La Liga, and he's taking along Eddie Azcona, who had a less than stellar stint, not by his own accord, out with the USL club out west, and I forget what it was. It's El Paso, something or other. I don't remember. But I remember there not being a lot
Locomotive.
of... Yes. I remember there not being a lot of playing time for him. So.
Fun fact, that is where Jerome Kiesewetter came to Inter Miami from.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well,
I gotta Google Jerome Kiesewetter and see how he's doing.
That's all right. Anyways, so yeah, they're going out, hopefully getting some good experience in La Liga. We all know Robbie Robinson needs to get some playing time, especially after the season he had.
I feel like Robbie might not be happy about this, but I feel like this is great for Eddie, because this is I don't even know what La Liga 2 or whatever it is, one of the lower Spanish divisions. Yeah, Robbie's had a rough go, but I feel like this is really good for Eddie. Like get some nice experience. Hopefully we come back. He's still super young. I mean, Robbie is young too, but Eddie's even younger.
Yeah, and as we record today, they are 14th in Segunda Division. So they
also
are
owned by Moss and Beckham, right? The Moss brothers. Yeah.
They are currently sitting at 4 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses, with a -3 goal differential. So they should feel right at home. As much as it sucks to say.
We lost someone else, your boy, buddy.
Yeah, the one that really hurts. George Acosta was let go. Honestly, the writing was on the wall. As much as I didn't want to see it for him, because the midfield is getting really crowded with Bryce Duke's emergence, especially as the season went on. There wasn't going to be a lot of room for Acosta to play, and he was injured a lot for Inter Miami too, which did not allow the club to see his development potential.
The hometown kid, man. The hometown kid.
Well, he's one of those players I really hope gets a good shake somewhere else. Really hope he can get somewhere that is not Orlando or New York City like Pellegrini. And I hope he goes out there, shines, and kicks some ass. He's definitely deserves it.
I know we're staying positive, but that did piss me off that Pellegrini was subbed on at the very end of NYCFC's win over Inter Miami. That was just a little slap in the face for no reason. But
Well, I
I'm
definitely
sure,
saw some fire in your eyes.
I'm sure he enjoyed that. And also, you mentioned Bryce Duke, and he would also be a candidate for newcomer of the year. Very, very bright future. There will be, of course, tons of news that will be coming out over the next several months as we continue to wheel and deal, sign, wine, and dine potential players. But again, the big news broke yet again. This is the feels like fourth, maybe fifth iteration of the Leo Messi saga. And I heard from a reliable source that he really wants to come here to play with a young Bryce Duke.
Stop.
He said, "Hey, this man, he's tiny like me. I can train him to be like me, and it's going to be gorgeous."
Did he talk with all those awkward pauses you just threw in there as you were saying that? Like, I don't know. And I don't know if you saw before we started recording, because I know this is going to get your, tinfoil, like rumor hat all jazzed up here. But Suarez just announced that he's also leaving Nacional after winning the title with them.
Mm-hmm.
So do
Messi
you
Naldo.
just want to,
Messi Naldo.
no,
I'll tell you what, Cristiano's going one of two places, and I'm going to like either. He's either going to Chelsea or he's coming to Inter Miami, baby. Let's go.
The only reason I want him to come to Inter Miami is I want to actually get a chance to see him play live.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be
Same
great
with Messi. I've never seen Messi play live.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think it's going to be great for the locker room. I will continue to say it's going to be terrible for the foundation we're trying to build at the club. It's also going to be terrible for the average Joe like you and myself who have to, pay for tickets because we are not sponsored by the club, so we don't get shit for free.
Well, yeah, hey, I'm credentialed media now, and you are when you come down, so, be a little more respectful to that.
No, it's true, but I'm saying like we still have to pay for our tickets. Folks are going to have to pay for their tickets, and we're going to see a tenfold increase in the ticket prices. Not super thrilled about that.
Well, as long as we stay with our partners, the tickets won't affect me. So I'm sorry if they affect anyone else. I plan to continue to stay credentialed. But look, I get it, right? We had a bad experience with Matuidi. Some bad times with Gonzalo. We want to stay away from the older Europeans, but these are two of the GOATs. I mean, it's good for the club, good for the league. I'm completely on board with it. I know a lot of people are not. I'll welcome either of them or both of them with open arms. And bring on Suarez too if he wants to reunite with Messi. What the hell? Let's just have one crazy year, because all of those people are career-wise, I'd say, well above anything we've ever had at this club. And that's no disrespect to Gonzalo. I mean, he had a phenomenal career, but I'd say Suarez would be the closest thing to Gonzalo, but Ronaldo and Messi, man, hell of careers. Would love to see it. It's being reported by tons of outlets again, just as it was earlier in the season for the 35% ownership. I saw some things. It might be like a 10 to 15% ownership, but who knows? No one knows how long the deal is going to be. No one knows if this is real or if this is just, something all the reputable outlets are taking and running with. We will see. You made a great tweet. I kind of was like, he's always a Debbie Downer. Like, don't get hyped until you see him in, with a jersey on or something like that. So fair point to you, I will say.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to keep everybody real, because how many times are we going to do the same song and dance every time, Joe Blow, DirecTV reporter from The Sun, decides he's going to put out a tweet that maybe Messi's coming, maybe it's not. It's frustrating because every time you jump on Twitter, or like you said, you go into work, people who don't even follow the sport, oh, Messi's coming. Guys who like rarely follow the sport at Riley's practices, minus like the close, like DC, all that stuff. They're like, "Oh, is Messi coming? Is he not?" I'm like, guys, I have no idea. He might not. Barcelona might pull 1,500 other more levers financially and get him back. Who knows? Also, the rumor broke today that he is learning more French because he plans on staying in the French capital. Who knows?
Is
Yeah,
that a real rumor?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Wow, interesting. Well, it was reported by Ornstein and Tom Bogert, well, nicknamed Tommy Scoops. He's basically the Schefter of the MLS, I guess. The Campana news that he's not going back to Wolves Israel because it was tweeted by Jesus Cristo himself, Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. That's all you have to say.
Here we
I
go.
know he's gotten a lot of crap for some of the things he said and hasn't come true over the past couple of years, but
Yeah.
he's pulled through more times than not. So
Yeah, most
again,
people say they're not going to believe it until they see it from Fabrizio.
I got to be honest. When transfer season comes around, I turn on notifications for his tweets because 8 times out of 10 they're pretty spot on. So
Yep.
yeah.
All right, buddy boy, let's get into this because I'm kind of
we got one more piece of news to talk about real quick.
Go ahead.
And then we'll get in. Well, 2 more pieces. So Dawn Scott, she is our performance director for Inter Miami. She has departed the club for a new opportunity with the Washington Spirit. She will be taking on a role as the director of performance, medical, and innovation. Congrats to her. I know I'm not familiar with her work, but I know that she was much beloved within the organization. So, congrats to her. Good luck on the move. The next piece of news is that Drive Pink will be holding some international friendlies. One's actually okay. Apparently Siri wanted to chime in on that. All right. No, but the U.S. women's national team will be hosting a game against the Euro final runner-up Germany squad, which should be a hell of a game. That is going to be held on Thursday, November 10th at 7 p.m. The roster is looking pretty strong for that match. If you ever wanted to go see them play and you haven't, this is probably going to be one of your best chances to do so.
Yep.
And then Colombia and Paraguay will be playing a game on the 19th at 8 p.m. You can go ahead and purchase tickets for both games through the Inter Miami site. Also, make sure you get parking ahead of time because both games should be pretty highly attended. So
I wonder if I can buy tickets to the Inter Miami account manager because I still have credits in there, and I wonder how much tickets are going to be. That would be a great game because I definitely want to go see them at least once. Good time for the family as well. I will find out what kind of tickets we're looking at here, and we'll get back to this. Anything else, my man?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. It's been mum the word since pretty much since the end of the playoff games. I will tell you because I just did a quick search because I am that quick. Ticketmaster showing tickets if you're looking for 2, looking at $22.
Oh man,
for the U.S. women's national team. That is section 106, row 34. But there is a bunch of $22, $23, $24, $25 tickets. So if you haven't seen them, get out there and see them. Even the most expensive is $150, $200. So yeah, get out there and enjoy it.
Go get the front row of those suites that you've always wanted for an Inter Miami game and just squint hard and maybe act like it's Inter Miami. But let's move forward. Let's get into the over-under. So basically, when Alex was still very active with the podcast, we did some over-unders. If you've ever bet on anything, you know how that works. You're either taking higher or lower than the line that is given. Isolated the clip. It's like 6 minutes long. We'll play it now, and then we'll see how I did on the other side. Enjoy.
And that is a segment called Over Unders. Jay, these lines that I am going to read to you are the season totals for the player of last year. Clear example, Gonzalo Higuain had 12 goals last year. The simple game is, do you think that player is going to have more or less than the number that they had last year? So Jay, let me go ahead and ask you, do you think Gonzalo Higuain is going to have more or less goals than 12 this season?
I'm giving him more.
And how many more, Jay? Give me a little bit more. Why do you think more?
I'll give him 16.
16? Why do you think he's just going to have a powerhouse year and be a top 3 goal scorer in the MLS? So we have over 12 goals for Gonzalo Higuain, and might as well go ahead and talk about his assists. Last year, he had 9 assists in total in the 2021 season. Jay, over, under on 9.
Oh, this one's tough, but I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over because I think there's more talent that can put the ball into the net now. I think that he's going to play a little bit more of a creationless role. I think he's going to have a hell of a season, honestly.
Yes, the second one. This one's a hot topic here. Jay, Robbie Robinson, over, under 4 goals.
Under.
How many goals do you think Robbie's going to get?
2. I think that Robbie is no longer a starter on this team. I think Emerson and Lassiter are going to be our new wingers. I think a lot of people are, think this is his last chance. I don't even think it's there. I think we've already acquired the players that will be our scoring wingers, and I just don't see Robbie fitting into this for, health issues or, kind of just being there mentally. I just don't think he gets nearly as much playing time as he did.
Gregory, 4 assists this year, over, under.
Over.
I agree with you on that, sir. Definitely think this is going to be a huge year for Gregory. Well, let's keep on Gregory right here. Total fouls. 69, which is, haha.
He is still chippy out there. I'm going to say less because I don't think that he will have to make as many tactical fouls this season. So I'm going to say less with a confidence level out of 10 of about a 3.
Let's hope to God it's less, to be honest. We got Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs, 86.4% passing percent accuracy.
That is tough. I'm gonna go with less because he should have more playing time this season if he can get healthy. He had some really good games. We got a fairly smaller sample than what we wanted, so I'm gonna go slightly less. I still think he could be around the 80% mark. Blow me away though. I would love to be wrong on that one.
Gonzalo Higuain, 3 goals from outside the box. What you got?
I'm already in on Gonzalo after these previous 2 questions you asked me. So I'm going to have to go more, and mainly because he's going to be playing that false 9 or number 10 role where he's just going to be positioned a little bit deeper anyway. And I don't think my friend is afraid to let it rip.
Last but not least, we got our boy Breck Shea. 1,676 minutes total this year, over, under.
Bro, I don't know. You said 1676, and I, for some reason, thought 1776, and then I thought of the Revolutionary War. Then I just envisioned Breck Shea with a Revolutionary War little ribbon ponytail and a full on American Continental soldier get up.
What do you think Breck Shea's craziest Halloween costume is?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel like he'd play an 80s rocker so well, but he could honestly just be Miley Cyrus for Halloween. I don't know, maybe just a snake handler, but 1,676 minutes. I'm going to unfortunately have to go with less on this, under, because he's had to step in crucial times when we've needed him, but now we have depth and we have, I think, more well-rounded player. So I'm not sure if he's going to get all those minutes. I think he's going to be mainly just coming in as a substitute unless we really get hit with the injury bug. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd give him 4,800 minutes, but it's not. So I'm going to have to be realistic, and I'm going to go a little less than that.
Last year, Inter Miami had 41 points in total. What are you thinking this year, bud?
I mean, over. We can't get much.
You
worse,
better
right?
say over.
Over. Just run through these. We can be really quick about this.
12 wins, over, under.
Over.
36 total goals, over, under.
Over.
That's the stat that we really need to look at this year, people.
Yes.
We averaged 1 goal a game last year.
Yeah.
That is pathetic.
Yeah.
36 goals, I think, in 34 matches. So right there, right around it.
Yeah. Good math.
About there. 53 total goals against.
It has to be under.
Why does it have?
Because we're gonna be trash if we're not under. So it has to be under.
Couple more here, Jay. Over under 81 yellow cards. Leaguing 81 yellow cards. Better go over on this.
My mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yeah. I'm gonna have to go under.
All right, last but not least, penalty kicks taken. 4 we had last year. Over under this year.
Dang.
There's no has to be's on this.
Well, I'm gonna
Don't
have to
think too
go.
hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Man, that does seem like an aggressive amount. I'm gonna go over just because it's gonna play into my Gonzalo having more goals.
Well, there you go. The over-unders for the 2022 season. We will record this, obviously, and revisit it in mid-October and just see how the season unfolded. You know, I'm excited for this. This is bringing a smile to my face. I think next year we should maybe put a little bit of a cash pool together, maybe like $10-20, something like that. I feel confident.
All right, there we have it. Simple enough. Now, if you've been paying attention to the numbers, you probably know how that went for us. But let's run it through. I'll let Than be the judge, jury, and executioner. Have fun with it, buddy.
All right. Well, so for Gonzalo, obviously you said 16. Nailed it right on the head. Beautiful.
Well,
It's like
over. So we're just taking the over under, right? That
No,
was
no.
just a bonus part.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Nostradamus there. The over under was 12. You went over.
Yeah,
Gonzalo.
that's all right. That was a little strange though. Because
Yeah,
I was like re-listening. Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. And then you came back to the same old Jay Kington I know oh so well with your predictions. Gonzalo, over under 9 assists. You said over. Came through with a fabulous 3 on that one. So
Is there any leniency to the fact that he didn't play for like a good half the season?
no. All right. So moving on. Robbie
All right,
Robinson.
well, I'm taking credit of the 16 goal call. That was phenomenal. I'm super intelligent, the best sports analyst to ever do it, and that'll probably never happen again in my life.
Your betting history says otherwise.
My betting account says you're an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much. 30 leg parlays at $5 a piece. Anyways, Robbie Robinson over under 4 goals. Under. You said you gave him 2, and he had 2. Actual was 1 in the MLS, 1 in the Open Cup, and then he was Dunsky with his hammy injury again. Gregory over under 4 assists. You said over. He was at 3.
Yeah, what's that about?
I mean, different. He didn't have to do too much, once
Once Pozuelo got there,
Pozuelo showed up, and he was too busy doing the next stat. Gregory over under 69 fouls. You said under. He came through with a fabulous 78. So, he can't assist when you have some yellow card accumulations and fouls
right.
there. Yeah.
His focus was elsewhere.
Yeah. Gonzalo, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over one. Kieran Gibbs over under 86.4% passing accuracy on the season, under by almost a full 10%, 77.6. Gonzalo over under 3 goals from outside the box. Over. He actually had 3 outside the box and 2 free kicks from outside the box. And then
Can I count the 2 free kicks?
You made sure to put in the notes, and I'm glad I caught this before I kept reading, so I am claiming victory. So I guess I don't have much of a say. You're claiming victory. Go ahead.
Yes.
This one is more like you. Breck Shea, over under 1,676 total minutes. You said under. Okay, the actual was only a whopping 160 minutes.
That's not even 2 full games.
No.
We barely saw Breck.
Well, he pissed Phil off, and that was that. Let's just put it like that. Inter Miami team stats over under 41 points. Over, you said 48 points was the actual. Inter Miami total wins over under 12. You said over. We hit 14. Total goals, you said over. It was 36, and you said 47, or they had 47. Over under, was it 53 goals against? You said under. 56 goals against. So
Can't
almost.
be right all the time.
No,
Almost there. Almost there. Thanks.
This one
Thanks,
actually makes
Damian Lowe.
this one makes my blood boil because you know how much we care about this one.
I know.
Over under 81 yellow cards. Under, which unfortunately you were right. We
So
had.
tell me why you love it. There's a reason you love it. Go ahead and read it.
We got 69 yellow cards. Make sure you throw that explicit warning on this episode. Watch out.
There we go.
God, I can't stand my life some days. Anyways, Inter Miami, 4 penalties converted or scored. You said over. Actual was 5. All scored from Gonzalo. Thank God for Gonzalo, because we had some pretty ugly penalties besides Gonzalo this year.
You see, Gonzalo, I've always loved you, buddy. I've always believed in you. I just needed you to believe in yourself.
Please don't make our listeners pull the receipts, because as you were saying the first time, Gonzalo, I always loved you. I'm sitting here playing back on my head all the times. We were shit talking him like, good, never see him back on the field. Let's not do it.
So we're gonna remember these. All right. So like this was a little difficult because we only had like 5 remaining players, right? So we were trying to do over unders that, but we're obviously not going to have as big of a turnover this year. So this is what we're going to do, but we're both going to give answers here, and then we're going to see how we do next season. I like this little game. This is fun. I'm going to start doing deeper dives. I'm going to start dividing these averages by the games, going deep level stat with it, and we'll see how we did. But hey, I will take that, buddy. I will take that.
I think next year too, for the fans, we need to keep a running tally of wins and losses for our predictions.
Yes,
and we can give ourselves like a handicap of like +or -1 if we do goal differentials, or I don't know what you want to do.
Yes. No, I like this. We need to record this stuff so that we can see exactly how stupid we are or how, intelligent we are. I mean, I went 10 of 14. I will take 10 of 14 all day. All day. I will not do that again. I bet it's going to be like 3 of 18.
It'll be like your regular score predictions or win predictions. Like it'll.
Yeah. I was accurate like 3 times out of 34. Yeah.
Yeah, that's being generous, but is what it is.
High level percentages here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay because next year you will have me to lean on, and I will make myself look like a bigger fool than you when it comes to these predictions. So,
we're going to come up with them. We're going to answer them separately and compare them. So this will be fine. This will be a good competition. We'll have to put some sort of bet on it. Maybe we'll let the listeners come up with the bet or the Discord. We'll have fun with this. Yeah, man. And look, hell of a season. Thanks to all of La Familia, all of the fans, all of the community, all of the SGs, everyone in the organization, man. Really, really great season. Made the playoffs. That was the ultimate goal. Can't really ask for much more than that. Again, we'll be back intermittently with team news as it develops, signings, trades, just straight up mutual contract terminations, whatever it is. And then we're going to sprinkle in some World Cup love because it's probably the only time in history the World Cup's going to be in the wintertime. So as you're, going down to the kitchen with your whole family together, helping your mom carve a turkey, just look up at that TV in the corner and just watch the USA beat Gareth Bale and Wales. I don't even know what day Thanksgiving is. Is it the same day?
Do you realize we're playing England, right?
Is England the 21st? Whatever.
Yeah.
Look, we're not in we're not in the World Cup zone right now, so I don't know the dates of everything right now. Is it the day after Thanksgiving or is it on Thanksgiving?
I thought it was the day after, and I'm going to be honest with you. I should know that because I had my England jersey ready to go.
Traitor.
It is the 20. Dude, I don't need to get back into this with you. It has been my lifelong team. 25th at 2 p.m. England v USA.
So Thanksgiving's the 24th, right? Yes. So the day after Thanksgiving. That's great. Have your whole family around. Tell your whole family how soccer is the best sport in the world and it's better than all the NFL games you watched on Thanksgiving Day, and how, convert as many of your family members as possible. Let's grow this sport in America. It's beautiful. I don't have anything else, buddy. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, no, actually, I just want to thank everybody who has been with us all season long. You guys are why we do it. You guys are here for us on the days we don't want to be doing this, through all the pain and the suffering. You are there with us when we are laughing, jumping for joy like idiots because we never thought we'd have a season like we did this year. You guys are the real MVP, and we would not be where we are today without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Fair enough. Well done. Well done. And as we end every episode, signing off season 3. Could have sworn I saw a commercial that we were playing Wales on the 21st. Anyway, vamos. Oh, that was horrible. Vamos, Miami.
I thought I was going to get a better one than you, but vamos, Miami.
Cheers, everyone. See you soon.
This is Drake Callender, and you've been listening to the Inter Miami Podcast.